So today we are going to learn about if conditions, okay, in detail. If so, there are two kind of like if simple if condition and the recursive if condition. Two kind of operations are there. So we are going to learn these things by using some examples. So when we use if condition, if you want to check, there is a code you have written some set of code for on your as per your logic, and you want to execute this code only if certain condition met. Okay, that is the logic. So if this logic is met, then only you want to execute the particular code. So then in that cases you can use this if condition. Okay, so itself you are saying if the condition is valid, then execute this kind of code. If the condition is not valid, execute this kind of steps. So you can define in that way. So to start understanding this if condition, what I can do, I will go with a simple program. So the program which I am going to write is write is what is it? Even or odd. Okay, so now I will try to enter one number, and based upon the number, if we want to print on the screen whether it is a even number or an odd number. Okay, that is our requirement. So our requirement is to identify a given number is even or odd. So in order to how exactly like instead of program, like if we want to perform this kind of activity not manually, then how we execute it. So for example, like given a number 10 and I am asking whether this 10 is a even or odd number. So how exactly we are going to do? We will divide 10 with 2, and if the remainder is 0, then it is even number. If the remainder is 1, then it is an odd number. So that is functionality, how we can, tell a number is even or odd. So if you go through the logic one more time, I have to divide a number with 2. If the remainder, it means on the English words also we will tell if the remainder is 1 or 0, then it is even number. Else means if it is not 0 means if it is 1 only, right? Either because when we divide it anything by 2, either we will get 0 or 1 as a not the result. I mean the not the reminder. Yeah, reminder, not reminder. Okay, not yeah. When the remainder is 0, then it is even. If the remainder is 1, then it is odd number. So when in English words also we talk in a similar manner. So now how to implement this kind of code in ABAP? Very simple code. So data, I am defining one variable lv underscore a type integer. Okay, and then in order to store my reminder, I am creating a result. Okay, type I. So I am defining two variables, one variable to store my value, another variable to store my reminder value. So then I have to assign one value to my variable, right? LVA is equal to, for example, 10 here. Okay, and LV result is equal to. Then how to get reminder by dividing 10 with 2. So in order to perform this kind of operation, we have one inbuilt function is there. Okay, LV underscore a mod. Mod is nothing but mod provides the value reminder of a division operation. Okay, mod is a function, inbuilt function in SAP ABAP, which provides the reminder of a division operation. So when I divide LVA with the 2, then whatever result I am getting reminder, that will be stored in my LV result. Okay, so simply let's see first of all whether it is coming correctly or not. I'm going to print this result on the screen. I'm using pretty printer, and then I'm doing check button. Everything is fine. I'm activating it and then executing. So 10 mod 2, yeah, 10 divided by 2, then it is nothing but 0 is my reminder. So we know it is 0 is the reminder, correct. Okay. Now based upon this reminder, I want to print if the reminder is 0, then I have to print even number. If the reminder is odd, if the reminder is 1, then I have to print odd number. So for that I need to write if condition. If LV underscore result is equal to 0. So because we know either it will come 0 or 1. So simply I am giving 0. If right condition means if the result is 0, then I am writing this right condition, and in the right condition I am printing even number. Okay, else else means if it is not 0, it means obviously it is 1 only. So then write, because when we divide it with this one 2, either we can get 0 or 1, right? Odd number. And if printer. So when you use printer, system will format your code in a proper way. Then click on check button, activate, execute. You see even number. So because I am dividing 10 with 2, it is an even number. For example, instead of 10, I am giving here 7. So what will happen here? Whatever the number will be, it simply checks it by divide by 2, and based upon the reminder, it is giving odd number now for 7. Yes, both results are coming correct. But every time now what is happening here, every time I am going to code changing the number manually, activating again, and then executing. I don't want this kind of, every time changing, activating, changing, activating. I want a generic code where user enters value in a field and then click on execute. Okay, instead of coming to the code and changing, it is bit of difficult task. Not difficult task, because if you are giving this program for a user to test it, then user does never come here to change values, right? So now what I am going to do is I am going to tell you a new thing now. Okay, there is a keyword called parameter. Parameters is one of the keyword. Okay, so here you can use p underscore a, type I. So if you define something like this, and in order to comment any code, not entire line, but some part, some ending part of the line, you can use double quote as one of the commenting operation. If you want to comment entire line, simply put star on the starting, or use the shortcut key control less than symbol for comment, greater than symbol, and for uncomment. And if you want to comment some ending part of the string, then you need to use this double quote for the comment operator. So instead of defining my variable under data section, I created a parameter called p underscore a, type integer. Okay, now let's see. Now in this, what I am going to do, I'm not I am not hard coding anything on my code. Simply whatever I am entering under p underscore a, I am dividing that by mod 2. Okay, so this I updated my code. Instead of using a local variable, I am using a parameter. Parameter also stores values. So now whatever I am adding in parameter, I am using that one here now. Okay, activate, execute. Now I got a parameter p underscore a. So in the p underscore a, I am giving 10 and then clicking on execute button. You see, I got even number. If I go one step back, then it is not going to the inside program. Okay, it is again coming to the parameter tab. Now this time I am giving 7. If I am clicking on execute button, you see odd number. So parameters are nothing but a selection screen. You are defining a selection screen to your program. So on selection screen, whatever you are giving, so the particular value will be taken care. Okay. So you see now, it is a little bit easy. Every time instead of going to back and changing program, by using this parameter, we can try multiple options on the execution code. Okay. So now this is now let's say learn it practically. Okay, how to debug, not partially, how to debug it. So via debugging mode, I am going to explain this now, because we are going to learn each and every program using debugging mode for better understanding on initial days at least. Now today what I am going to show you is another way of debugging. So every time how I am saying to debug the code, I am asking you to go back one step, go to debugging mode, and then when you go to debugging mode, as I said, it is asking for the parameter screen, means selection screen you need to provide, then it starts debugging. So on the selection screen, I am giving 10 and then clicking on execute button. Okay, now again after selection screen taken inputs, then it started executing the report. So it comes to report a keyword, which is the starting point of our execution of code, and then when I press F5, it went to the executable line LV result. So if I double click on p underscore a, now you see under p underscore a, since I given 10 number, I can see 10 here, and on the LV underscore result, since it is an integer, by default it is having 0, but when I press F5, since it is a mod operation, again it is a 0 only reminder, and if the result is 0, based upon the if condition, what is happening? If result is 0, then it executes right condition even number. And then important point is, what is if condition exactly? If condition, when this condition satisfies, okay, it came to else condition, but it doesn't execute anything else. Okay, so now you've seen how to use if condition, but you must know how it exactly it works in the backend. Okay, in the if condition, if the result satisfies, it executes the code under what is written for the particular condition, and then once the condition got satisfies, after executing this code, it comes out of if. It doesn't go to else again to check anything. Okay. So now to understand this one, we are going to learn in now another example. Okay. Now this is a very simple example. So there are if one if condition is there, it is a true statement and it is false statement. If it is true, then it executes the code below to it. We call them as a block, if block. So the code which is written between if and the else is nothing but true block. The code which is written between else to and if is nothing but a false block. If the condition is true, then only true block will be executed. Once done, it come out of the if condition, means it comes to end if condition. It doesn't goes to else block at all. Okay, that is important. If the condition fails, now I will show you. Now let's see what we will do. I will give one more parameter. No, I want to do debugging now. So go to debugging mode. Now let's give 7 here. Now then execute. Press F5. Now under P underscore A, I have 7, and LV result, I have default value 0. When I press F5, the reminder is 1. So the result got saved here. Now on the if condition, system checking on my result value, do I have 0 or not? But it is 1. 1 equal to 0, it's a false condition. Whenever it is false condition, it comes to the else part. So on the else part, I written a right odd number. So it is writing this odd number on the screen. Okay, so that is how this if condition is working. Now what we are going to learn is, we are going to learn again now recursive if condition. What is recursive if condition means? It means I can write multiple if statements. Okay, I can write multiple if statements. So to learn this multiple if statements, we need one example. So which example we can go now? Which example we can go now for recursive if? One of the standard example which I always teach them is, printing the month number based upon the value you given. For example, on the selection screen, if you given 1, you want to print January. If I given 12, I want to print December. If I give 7, 8, if I want to print August. If you give 20, because it is not a valid month number, then you need to print invalid month number. So this kind of program we want to say. So it means we cannot check with one value. Here we need to check with multiple values. Okay. So this example will help you to understand exactly how recursive if condition works. Okay. Now for this also, because I am going to enter a number on the selection screen, my parameter keyword still works, P underscore A type I. Okay. And there won't be any result here because I am not storing, I am not performing any arithmetic operation here. So simply what I am going to do, I am going to check whether based upon the number I am giving, I want to print something on the output screen. So if P underscore A is equal to 1, full stop, every line ends with full stop. What I need to write? I need to write January. So I will write first 3 letters Jan. Okay. Else if, you see, else if is nothing but a recursive if, means there is a if condition firstly, again you are writing one more if condition, else if P underscore A is equal to 2, right, Feb. So what I will do, since I need to write it 12 times, copy, I will do copy paste 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now finally I will write one else condition here. invalid month number and if. Okay, now I need to update all this. So 1 means Jan, 2 means it is Feb, 3 means March, 4 means April, 5 means what I can say, May, 6, June. Okay, it is taking some time, but to learn, we need to spend time on programming also. August, 9 means September, 10 means October, 11 means November, 12 means December. Okay, so apart from any of these numbers, if I given 20, then what happens in such cases? I need to write invalid month number. So pretty printer, check, activate. Now let's see how this code will be executed practically. I'm going to first let's execute it normally and I see the result. Then we go for debugging mode. Okay, I'm giving now 8. So when I give 8 and execute, it is printing August. Okay, if I am giving 4, it will give April. You see, it's working perfectly. So now let's go to debugging mode and try to understand how exactly it is working. I am going to debugging mode. I am giving 8 here. So now when I give it 8 and click on execute, it goes to debugging mode and then I need to start F5. So now it is checking. So under P_A, now which value got stored? 8 value. So now understand how exactly if condition is working. First it will check if my P_A is equal to 1 or not. So it is not 1. So 8 not 8 equal to 1 is false statement. It goes to the next if condition. It doesn't go inside of it, but it directly jump into next else if condition. Here checking 8 equal to 2, false. 8 equal to 3, false. Like this, every else if condition, it will check whether it is matching to the given value or not. So whenever, now else 8 is equal to 8. Here at this 28th line, it is successful. When it is successful, it simply goes to the right condition, write August on the screen, and then you see it came to else if, but remember here it is not checking the condition. Cursor came here and when I press F5, it's gone. That's it. Okay. After executing the code, it came to the line, but it not yet performed that action. It will come out of the if condition. That's what you need to learn. Okay. So to explain this more simply, so instead of coming to output, I will write one statement at the end here because there are no executable statements after end if. For that reason, system coming out of the program. So by I'm writing by here. Active pretty printer. Activate. Now what I am going to teach you is we can keep the breakpoint. There are two things are there: breakpoint, internal breakpoint, external breakpoint. I will teach this breakpoint separately in a different session. But at this point of time, if I press my cursor on this, colored, line item. So wherever I press my cursor, it comes there. Okay, no? So I'm keeping my cursor here and then clicking on execute button. Instead of going every time to pack and execute, execute debugging mode, you can keep that breakpoint in that is called session breakpoint, and then you can directly click on execute button here. I am pressing 7 now, and then clicking on execute. Because of you given session breakpoint, system will stop automatically here when you execute the program. Okay, so now I'm pressing F5. Yeah, now it is 7. 7 matches is 7. So automatically print July, and after it coming to this else if condition, it is not yet executing this if condition. When I press F5, see it directly jumped into the 42 line. So after 7, it is not checking any of these numbers. Okay, remember, because in the else if condition, if the condition satisfies, it executes the block, and from there it directly jumps into the end if condition. It doesn't process any further condition. Okay. So that's what you need to understand here. So on the right condition here written by, so that will be printed on the output screen. Okay, so this is called if condition and recursive if condition. So we are done with this one. So let's go to some example. So in order to practice this if condition, now I need to give some assignment to you. So let's see some assignment on the if condition. If condition and recursive if condition. So to perform if condition, what I need to do, how to say this one, which examples I can give. So now on your example, one of the example, what you need to perform is, here it needs a little bit, more effort from your side. Create two parameters. Okay, create two parameters, A and B. Okay, so you need to create two parameters, means two selection screens on your screen. One is P underscore A and P underscore B. Okay, find which is greater, and print it on the output screen. Okay, so the example here, how it comes, here you are defining two parameters. So on your selection screen, it will ask for P underscore A and it will ask for P underscore B. So now for example, you are giving here P underscore A 10 and P underscore B 5, then you need to check whether which is greater one. Either P underscore A is a bigger value or P underscore B is bigger value. So in this case, P underscore A is bigger value. So you need to print this 10 on the output screen. Okay, for example, if I given 15 here, then you need to print 15 on the output screen. Means you need to check which is the biggest value using some arithmetic operator, and you need to showcase that on the output screen. So how you will define, it's up to you. Okay, na? So next is create three parameters this time. P underscore A, P underscore B, and P underscore C. Find which is greater or largest number, and print it on the output screen. Okay, so for these two examples, you need some logical skills to write it. So but no problem, you have to think of it, because in real time you need to write so many logics, right? So find which is largest and print it on the output screen. So these two are the examples for the, your first example, simply works with if else condition, and the second example works with the recursive if condition. Okay, you need to write multiple if statements to my knowledge. So write it accordingly. So I'm saving it. This is for the if and if condition.